Knowing me, knowing news, there is nothing we can do. Knowing me, knowing news, News. First off, we have the reported reason that Daniel Bryan wasn't on this week's SmackDown Live. Mandy Rose has commented on the rumoured lesbian angle with Sonya Deville, and a former WWE Superstar now has officially joined Impact Wrestling. So Daniel Bryan is a horrible little troll, isn't he? A couple of weeks ago, he came out on SmackDown. He's going to make this huge career-altering announcement. He came out, he did the mic thing, and then he went backstage, and then he came out again, did the mic thing again. No, I'm not talking to you. Went backstage, came out, boom, mic drop, gone backstage. Didn't make the announcement. That's what I'm trying to get across there. So, it was reported on WWE.com that Daniel Bryan may finally make that career-changing announcement on this week's episode of SmackDown. However, we didn't see him. He wasn't there at all. WWE did tease this across all their social media and their website, but he just wasn't there. We now have the reason for why that may be. This comes via Post Wrestling, but it's been backed up by various other news sites as well. And it says, one person within the company had noted to us that the reason Daniel Bryan was off television this week was that he had vacation time. They do have a program scheduled for Bryan, but he was never set for television this week, despite the tease on the website preview for SmackDown, which is utterly ludicrous.
Did they say he'd definitely be there? Did they say he might turn up and do it?
I guess they did say that will Daniel Bryan make his announcement, but these things with WWE now are increasingly becoming like Boy Who Cried Wolf. I think there's a very fine line. I'm all for heels messing with the audience, trolling the fans. That's cool. That's totally fine by me. Like the Paul Heyman stuff with the briefcase. Is Brock going to be here? Is he going to cash in? But
when the company's doing it.
Yeah, and it's like, it's weird because you do it too many times and you're just going to really annoy people. Yeah. And I think with WWE standing at the moment and the perception by fans that their TV shows are weak, I don't think it's the right time to be doing this stuff. We should also talk about a rumour of what this announcement may be. This is floating around absolutely everywhere, and that is that Daniel Bryan may be joining 205 Live.
I would...
I'd watch it. I'd actually watch it.
I'd be so happy.
Yeah, you'd have a lot more to talk about, that's for sure.
The thing is, like, 205 Live is getting steadily better. It just needs a bigger name to come along and really get people watching.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And I mean, this is to do with AEW and the competition there. There's been also reports that WWE may be merging 205 Live and NXT to provide something sort of a better work rate perhaps than their other weekly shows to compete with AEW, which is obviously a higher work rate, better in-ring competition.
There's already
maybe
sort of like a bit of a seamless blend going on anyway. It's already starting to happen with 205 Live and NXT.
Yeah,
like
you see
Shane
guys.
Strickland rocked up this week to
Yes.
Gulak, Humberto Carrillo and Raul Mendoza, they just go backwards and forwards.
Right,
They just rock up on either show. And it's never really announced. It's just like, oh, here comes Humberto. And it's like, well, what? Like, hold on.
You've got to believe that if Daniel Bryan were to go and join 205 Live, and there's also been reports that this would air at the same time as AEW show, that you would get a lot of fans tuning in literally just for I said Del Rio there, for Daniel Bryan.
For Del Rio.
Fortunately,
Del
not
Rio
Del
gets
Rio.
under 205 pounds. Yeah, definitely. It makes sense if they're wanting to offer a high work rate show, but if they're going to do it, I request they do it Nitro style. There needs to be a switch over at the hour mark and fireworks, and commentary teams change and everything gets really annoying and awkward, and then little me falls asleep at about this point, and then I have to watch
This is when you're a kid?
Yeah,
okay, right. Fireworks, it's just never going to happen, so I'm really, really sorry to tell you that's not going to happen.
I think genuinely, think of the program he could have with Gulak.
Oh, God. There's dream matches all over the place.
He doesn't have to leave SmackDown either. It tapes after SmackDown.
Yes, yeah,
So if they were to keep with the current...
I don't want to see any more like Drake Maverick being the GM there and then going and dicking around on Raw doing the 24/7. So I don't want to see those sort of clashes of characters. He's a different person there than he's there a lot of the time.
He's up against Kanellis this week, and I'm hoping that Kanellis wins, and I'm hoping that this gets a Triple H appearance and Maverick is just cast out.
Oh.
Because Maverick... He struck a member of roster. He's like struck them.
Dare he?
Like,
Andy struck our truth.
Yeah,
What's
but
he
like,
playing at?
But you know,
no, I get you. I totally get you.
So
it
gives a good enough reason to get him out, and then he can go do all the 24/7 stuff.
Yeah.
And then we can get a new GM for 205 Live, make it all fresh and exciting.
The 24/7 stuff is where it's at with Maverick for sure.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense when he was managing AOP, and then he was
that
was proper heel and then babyface stuff as well. Ridiculous. Well, we will see. Daniel Bryan, will he make his announcement on Tuesday? Probably not.
Yeah.
No. Next up, Mandy Rose has commented on the rumoured lesbian angle with her and Sonya Deville. If you missed it a few weeks ago, Sonya had a match with Ember Moon. Sonya won in about 2.5 minutes. And then after the match, and I don't know if people were reading into this too much, it looked like there was a sort of embrace, and then I think she played with the hair a little bit.
I think she just sort of brushed her hair behind her ear or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she has mentioned in this interview with Uprocks, I don't have many insights to offer on that. I think there's definitely rumours and stuff like that, but it's also hard to say because my character is pretty sexual and pretty sassy. That's the way I am. So anything I do, it doesn't really matter if it's to Sonya or anyone else, it's just who my character is. So it's hard to judge. But I guess you're going to have to stay tuned, right? You never know. Good sell, good sell. I like that. You might get lesbians, you might not. Who knows? So yeah, it's one of those things where we're just going to have to see where it goes. There was a backstage segment on this week's SmackDown, I believe.
Yeah, it was one of the shows this week, but yeah, there was like backstage sort of an embrace, but it was, I just hope if they are going to go through with this, it's handled tastefully, because there was a bit of backlash about it, and obviously people know that there's the past there with things like Chuck and Billy that were handled in a very, very bad way.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But I'm assuming that now the company would be a little bit more accepting and open of that. And
well, she sort of made comment on that as well. She says, obviously, if there was ever to be any type of relationship with us, referring to her on-screen relationship, I'm guessing, I'm super supportive, and WWE is super supportive of inclusion and the LGBTQ community. So I think it would be awesome. I agree. I just think it's got to be handled carefully. People seem to be offended when this happened a few weeks ago, which I didn't understand.
Yeah, I think there's obviously a lot of conservative America that don't want to see this, and especially when it's like, oh, you know, it's a kid's show. Like, I mean, when me and Ross got married on the channel, like, there was a comment I remember on the very first video, it's like shoving the gay agenda down children's throats, and I was like, whoa.
Oh wow, that's definitely what we were going for there.
And it was
100%.
like, it's just like, there are people that still go on like that. And I'm assuming they were the most vocal minority.
Yeah, like, maybe. You're right in just saying that it needs to be handled sensibly and actually make it like a real-life romance angle rather than just, hey, look, it's some lesbians.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any bullying aspect to it either. It should just be, they're just together.
You know what? I really trust Vince McMahon to handle this as sensitively as you're suggesting, Sam. Time will tell. Next up, WWE have announced a couple of matches and a segment for this week's episode of Raw. We're going to talk about those a little bit now. The matches are Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler in who can be the whiniest internet bitch match.
Millionth time ever.
You know what? They're two incredible wrestlers, and I'm sure it'll be a good match. I just don't care. And the WWE Women's Champion Becky Lynch will take on Alexa Bliss in a non-title match. You've got to believe that might be starting to set up something between, if it doesn't go further with Alexa Bliss, maybe Nikki Cross is going to get involved. Yeah. Probably continuation of that storyline.
It'd be nice. But yeah.
And the other segment that's been announced is Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns will meet in a Samoan Summit.
Wait, what?
This is what they. I feel like
Samoan Summit.
I feel like Vince has just learned this word. There was a tag team title summit a few weeks ago with New Day, Bryan and Rowan.
Did everybody get like a little bag full of free gifts from whatever company's putting it on, and it had like a little USB pen in it, a little like torch.
It's weird, isn't it? The Samoan Summit. I want to be excited for this because Roman and Joe could have a great match, but then I thought back to, it was Backlash 2018 and it was the main event and it was just like loads of rest holds. This is the match where people were walking out during the thing. You can see people in the background literally like...
Are you thinking this is a match?
I think it's setting up to a SummerSlam match for sure.
Because the Samoan Summit in my head is going to be two podiums.
Oh, no, that's what it's going to be,
They'll be openly discussing matters of Samoan politics, the ongoing, just
the ongoing
island life.
Okay,
and
I wonder where you were going with that. I don't think this is going to be the match. They had a match last week on
There
Raw.
better be Samoan flags. There better be all sorts.
Yes, fingers crossed.
This is a real summit. That front row as well, as I said, better get gift bags.
This doesn't bode well for Samoa Joe, unfortunately. It's going to be another pay-per-view loss, isn't it?
What if they all come down and they take the ring out and there's just loads of tables set up with really crap companies?
I don't...
It's like you just sort of walk around it going, oh, they do IT. Oh, these...
Well, Sam's full of ideas.
Like a job fair, basically.
Yeah, he's still going. Sam's got some great ideas here. Let us know your ideas for the Samoan Summit below. And before we go, a former WWE superstar has now officially debuted, returned to Impact Wrestling. That man is Rhino. That's Rhino with an I now, not a Y.
Are you sure they didn't just misspell it on the video?
No, it's an I. It's all capitals. All capitals. So we saw him attack Michael Elgin.
We didn't see him attack Michael Elgin.
Well, we saw...
It could have been anybody hitting that gore.
With a body that looks unlike any other body on the face of the earth.
About?
He's a bag of flour.
It could have been the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Tom described him as a bollard, which I think is pretty spot on.
He's like a double-breasted fridge.
Yeah, right.
Like one of the big American fridges that opens with the 2 doors.
So, this week on Impact, Michael Elgin had a match with Brian Cage. It was a street fight. Elgin looked like he was going to do it, sort of like a concerto, but Cage was bent over a chair as well. He was going to do that. And then a masked man appeared from behind. He's setting up for the gore, but Elgin takes him out. But fortunately, it wasn't Rhino. Rhino had just sent someone else. Dressed up as
looked like a
Rhino. No, it was just the same. Like, he was head to toe in black, like Rhino was. And then the real Rhino...
Stuff a washing machine under his top.
Rhino just had it clocked right that Michael Elgin was going to take out the first man. So the real Rhino was there. He did the unmasking. It is definitely Rhino that's there. Took him out with a gore and revealed that he has officially joined Impact Wrestling. Apparently, Rhino was offered crazy money by WWE, as everyone is at the moment, to stay with the company. Turned it down because he wants to keep wrestling, which for a guy of his age, I think is pretty admirable.
I think, like, given what he has given a lot to the company, I guess, over the years, and to the wrestling industry as a whole. I think if he wants to keep wrestling. I'm sure there'll still be a job there at WWE for him when he does feel it's time to call it a day. If he wants to go into like backstage stuff, or
yeah. You got to imagine he's pretty valuable as a backstage guy.
A good trainer.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So he's there in Impact. We have no details on the length of his contract.
Impact absolutely love an ECW original these days.
They did those with Hardcore Justice, the shows a few years ago. I mean, it's a while ago now, thinking about it. But everyone loves an ECW reunion, except for the fans, because it's been done to absolute death. They don't want to see it anymore. But Rhino can still go. We've seen him in the tag division in the WWE. He's still good. Great spear. What else do you say about Rhino? Welcome to Impact, Rhino. What's his real name?
Big Rye.
Big Rye. Welcome to Impact, Big Rye. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.